Hey guys. Hello. Happy Tuesday. Is that a thing now? Can we say happy Tuesday or is that just reserved for Friday? I don't know, but I'm here designing this morning I'm doing some social media banners and that's terribly exciting and I'm going to be working on that for the next hour or so. I am glad you're here. I'm happy that you're stopping by to check out what I'm working on. I'm sometimes doing comic book things as a comic book creator. I'm a writer and artist. I'm also a graphic designer, so it's very often a juggling act for me. And today happens to be a graphic design kind of day. So I'm starting out with a. This is actually an email banner graphic based on a social media graphic that I created yesterday. Um, I just gotta grab it here. So this is the ad, or this is the banner that goes on their homepage. And now I've been asked to create an email version of that. So it's usually not a not a heavy lift since everything is kind of already there. Mostly just a matter of repositioning some things. Let's just make some adjustments here. And I'm going to grab the logo. The unfortunate part of this particular design is that I was not given a high res of their logo and I was not able to find one online. So we're going to just see what we can get away with in terms of the resolution. I mean, it's not too bad because the email is going to be mostly viewed in mobile. I mean, I have to account for desktop views also, but um, generally speaking, does not need to be that big. Let's grab, this is our big, whoops, move that, our big background image, product placement. I had ran the stock art through through Chat GPT because um, I needed to extend the image to the left and right. And so in doing that, it kind of garbled up the text, which just goes to show you how fundamentally dumb AI is, at least right now. Um, it's useful. I am finding it useful, but I'm trying to use it in an ethical way. You know, I don't use it to create artwork. I don't use it to create graphics. I use it for, I guess you could say, minor problem solving. And this would be a problem solving situation where the image just, it simply just was not, it was not wide enough. And so the AI extrapolated the background and kind of extended it out. However, in doing so, it really jumped up the the text that was there. I don't think I can actually use that. So I'm going to grab it again. And so even though it did solve one problem, it sort of created a new one that I have to fix. So I think maybe the best way to do this, and I do get asked about AI by people who know that I am an artist and I'm a graphic artist. And I just my answer right now, what my thoughts are about it is I don't know. I think there's some benefit to it. I think there's some positive uses, but I am concerned. I do have a concern about what this is going to mean for creatives. And that's not just for illustrators and designers, but for actors and musicians and all sorts of fields could be impacted, and just not sure how that's going to play out. So as you can see here, I am just covering up that mucked up AI gobbledygook that it spit out when it extended that art, the photo behind it. We're gonna bring a copy of that so it's clear this is the product that C Line is advertising. Then I'm going to grab the text. I'm wondering if so I created another banner. This was for Avery. This is the email version of that. Just trying to determine. I don't want to take up too much real estate up here. This is all pretty valuable space. Maybe I'll bring it down here. I like the message being really the first thing in the layout. I think that's pretty important. Make this a little smaller. So I usually do these live streams at 10 a.m. Eastern time. This morning, um, I had to go. I had a doctor's appointment. Had to get some blood work, just routine stuff. So I was not able um, to get on here on my usual time. But I don't like missing a day. I do like to. I'm trying to be somewhat consistent with the live streams. Just trying to make sure this is a balanced design. Whoops, didn't want to do that. Hey, Matt, thanks for joining. I am knee deep in designery things today. By the way, Matt, I found the digital file of that Punisher drawing that I drew for you a million years ago, and I'm selling a lot of art prints now, so I'm actually going to repurpose it and um, offer it as a print, an art print. I've got so much stuff inventoried that it's just sort of sitting there that I decided to start monetizing some of this art that's collected over the years. Where is that? There it is. I think I'm going to have to put a little bit of a um, overlay here. Don't feel like there's enough contrast with that logo. I mean, I think that's pretty decent. See if I can brighten that just a little bit. Yeah, I think that's all right. I'm going to go ahead and save that. Line. What did we call this email? C line. And I want to save a PSD also. All right, so that's one down. Then I have do have another one I've got to create this morning. Rubbermaid. I'm doing an ad, a banner for Rubbermaid. Cube truck. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and send. I gotta send the client this image first, and I can start on the other. Says this image appears to have been corrupted. Okay, let's see what happened here. It's really odd. Not something I see very often. All right. So I got my blood work done this morning, and I always there's always some problem whenever I get blood work. Um, the last time I went was a nightmare. They couldn't find the vein, or they put it in and it missed the vein. It's very painful. And then this morning she tried my left arm and could not get enough blood out, whatever that means. She's asking me if I take baby aspirin, which no, I don't take baby aspirin. And so then she had to stick this arm and was able to get it out for my right arm. But it's just I don't know what it is about my veins that they always seem to have some kind of problem. And it's not like I've got, you know, I don't have cankles, right? I mean, I've got normal arms. I've got normal man arms. And so I don't understand why these nurses just seem to really butcher it every time. But anyway, that was my morning. All right, so I have all right, so Rubbermaid. She wants products including a cube truck and a garbage can and safety sign. So she did send me links to that. Kind of like, all right, I'll just save. So put that in. Oh, wait,
I need to create a new folder. So this is for, oh, I already have a folder, Rubbermaid. I usually create a folder that I call assets, and that includes any reference images, logos, things of that nature, just to things, keep my filing system somewhat organized. Uh, all right, so there was the cube truck, garbage can. Let's see a garbage can. Maybe I'll use a lifestyle photo instead of just a product image. It's a little more interesting. And she said a sign. Let's see what that looks like. All right, well, we'll start with what we have and kind of build it from there. So here's the C line um, banner. I'll just get rid of everything in here. No, I thought I downloaded a Rubbermaid logo yesterday. Maybe I did not. All right, let's look for that. Logo. Yeah, I could have sworn I downloaded this. All right, there's the logo. Just gonna take this background out. Just bring it right in. Not quite sure yet how this is going to be. I'm just getting all the components gathered up. What else did she say? Cube truck, garbage can, and a safety sign. Garbage can. So I still need to do a. So that is a cube truck. Garbage can. So I'm trying to find images here that are what you would call lifestyle images, which means it's a picture, the photo of a setting, like somebody is doing something with that product. And I don't know. Oh, here's one. I mean, that's okay. It's not super exciting. I mean, you can't get that exciting with a garbage can, really. Kind of hoping one of these would have some kind of product placement image. Let's look again. Not seeing, not really seeing much here. Resource. Here we go. All right. Going to mask this image. No, unfortunately, she did not provide any copy for this. banner. So I'm going to send over what I have so the client can uh, comment on that. I mean, it's pretty bare bones right now, but it's okay. The other thing I like to make sure of when I'm using imagery like this is to not introduce any tangents. Tangents are like I had the tip of his foot right there on the cropped line of the banner, and it's just not as visually appealing as to remove that so there's just a little bit of space around that image. um, it's the little things. The devil is in the detail, as they say. All right, so I'm not going to invest too much more time in this until I hear back. For now, just call that banner. Just gonna send this over. Okay, so that's off my plate, at least for the time being. Just have to send a couple of messages out. All right, so I'm gonna get rid of that. Have guess while I have you here, I will give you guys a little bit of a tour. some of the other projects I'm working on before I end the live stream for the day. Cover A. I think that's it. So this is the cover for Secret Powers issue 2 that I just finished. And you can actually see it with the all the dressing in my InDesign file. I'm going to open that. So this is the second issue, and I'll just get you to the cover because I'm super excited about this cover. Um, my next step here is I have to start finessing the lettering. And these are my handwritten notes. I marked up I printed out the book and just basically marked it up. And so now I'm going to just systematically go through it and make all the changes that I referenced here. Not a huge project because the lettering, for the most part, is done, but I have to kind of finesse things a little bit. And that's the next thing on my agenda with this project. And then I'll share with you my other comic book project, which is I'm calling it a redux. It's I guess a special edition of my first graphic novel from 1998, 1999, called High Strangeness. And this book is has suffered for years because I didn't have high res scans of the art. And so other than the first printing, and it was also a web comic in the 90s, I do not have the high res. So the whole book has just been sitting in limbo because I couldn't really do anything with it until I bought a iPad Pro a couple of years ago and realized that, okay, now I can actually fix this book. I can re-ink it in high resolution and republish it. And so that's what I've been working on for the past year. In addition to uh, Secret Powers, it's been this High Strangeness um, redux, I guess you could call it. And it's a slow project. I don't expect to have it finished until next year. It is kind of a back burner project for me, but I am determined to get a really nice edition of this book finally in print. Um, and I post process shots before and after views of the book over on my Patreon page. Could probably show you. Actually, I'll just show you my Patreon page. It's easier. So over here, um, oh yeah, here it is. So this was the most recent. This was a before and after of a page. for the most part, I'm trying to really stay true to my lines, the original lines. I'm not reinventing the book. Uh, why is that opening? It should open like in a high res, but it's not. It's really odd. Huh. All right. Yeah, I can't really see a high res of that. All right, let's just open it up here. Give you a little view of that. If I can find it. There it is. So this on the left is the before. You know, this was I was probably 27 or 28 when I first drew this book. You know, I wasn't really in full command, you could say, of some of my drawings, and so now I have an opportunity to, while I'm re-inking it, and I am trying to stay very true to the original inks. You know, I'm not, like I said, I'm not reinventing the wheel, but there's opportunities to make some of this better. And like this guy, you know, this is a real person who does not look like a real person in this original drawing. So I really just reworked his face entirely, and his face, the who was this? This was General Nathan Twining. His face as well was just not convincing at all. So I really just reworked his face too. We can zoom in a little bit, but a lot of things I kept really the same, other than I'm adding a gray tone shading to the whole book, which was something I wanted to do back in the day, but I just did not really have the skill level, or I just really didn't know how to do that and have it reproduce accurately. So it was intended to be a grayscale book, but it ended up not having it. So now, of course, with uh, you know, digital drawing apps like Clip Studio, it makes that process very easy. But everything else, you know, like even this, I could have probably redrawn that, but I didn't. You know, I'm keeping a lot of it intact for better or worse. You know, a lot of the nuances I'm really trying to follow line by line. However, like uh, the flying saucer here, I cleaned up a little bit just because the perspective in my original was slightly off. Um, so there are little things that, you know, I'm adjusting as I go. But it's been a pretty interesting project to kind of revisit my art from really early days, and then reapproach it um, today, and you know, kind of re-examine it and see what I can improve, you know, in a subtle way, not anything really overt. So that's the other project, but mainly my top priority right now is Secret Powers. My goal is to have this on in comic shops by the end of next year. So that's really I'm pretty laser focused on getting that. And you can follow along, like I said, if you go to my Patreon page, you can join for free and get free updates. And there are 4 tiers of membership. So I hope that you guys will take a look, you know, browse around and see what's there for you. I do have some pretty great rewards, I think, in place for members. And so I invite you to stroll over there to patreon.com/beyondforwardcomics. And I think that's it. I think I'm going to wrap things up in this kind of a late live stream. I'm usually here in the mornings, but got a late start today. I will be back tomorrow. So I hope to see you there. And if you haven't yet, I hope you'll subscribe to my Twitch channel. You can also find me on YouTube and Instagram. And where else can you find me? Oh, yeah, I've got an eBay store. It's Beyond Forward Art. I have new items listed daily, and they are typically original art, comic art, art prints, signed comics. Um, there's some pretty good stuff there. I think some pretty good prices. And you can also find me at Etsy.com, and it's the same username, Beyond Forward Art. I'm offering commissions. My commission list is open right now, so there's I think I have 6 different um, commission options that you can choose from too, whichever price is right for you. So that's my spiel. That's my sales pitch for the day. Uh, hope the rest of your day is great, and I hope to see you back here soon.